6 days ago. This is the Ficus pumila. Very pretty. And today, look, just 1 day less that I did not water it, and it completely dried out. And that's because everybody in the apartment except me had blasted their heater on, so I guess it just really changed the environment in my apartment, which I know this, but I just was so busy at work. I actually needed 7 days to get over the initial trauma. I knew the plant hadn't died, and in fact it was salvageable. So in this video, I'm going to do the painful task of cutting off its tendrils. As you can see, there are still parts of the plant that is alive and well. One of the first things I need to do is to find which parts of the plant I need to cut off, and to make sure I just cut off the dead parts and keep as much of the parts that are still alive intact. I found a place where to start, and I'm just going to take scissors that I have sterilized with alcohol, and then I just ran water, and then I just snip it. I decided to place the pot down so that it would be easier for me to find appropriate places to snip the plant off. And number one, I don't cut myself. I actually thought this part would be difficult for me, but once I got into it, it felt really good. It was almost like decluttering. I say that now, but honestly, I really had to have a mindset of knowing that what I was doing was going to be good for the plant, and in a few months, the plant will be back to normal, lush, green, and longer than ever. I noticed that as I was cutting away and feeling the stems, I realized that some of the stems were actually pliable, meaning that there was still a lot of life in it. And even though the leaves had turned crispy and fallen off and dried, it didn't mean that the stems were dead. I decided to cut this stem and propagate it. So what I'm going to do is remove as much of the dead leaves and put the end that you can see here that's still pliable and pretty green into water, and hopefully it roots, and then I can just put it back into the soil once it's rooted. Initially, I thought of removing the audio from the video clip, but now when I look back and hear it, I'm glad I kept it on because it's almost like an ASMR. I like the sound of the clipping and the rustling of the leaves. I don't know, that could be just me. Let me know in the comments below if you want me to do an ASMR type of plant video. I think I'd like to do that anyway, regardless of whether you tell me not to, or if you do. For those of you that don't know what ASMR stands for, ASMR means Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response, and I will put a link in the description to where you can learn more about it. And in any case, you can just search for ASMR in the YouTube channel and you'll find a lot of ASMR videos, and you'll know what I mean. So thank God for time lapse. So really what I'm doing is just I am moving around the plant and cutting out the areas where I feel like it needs to be cut, and I'm still feeling around the stems to make sure that I cut to the part where it's pliable, meaning still some life. And I'm also inspecting the other leaves that are remaining on the stem. Okay, so I just realized that the camera angle wasn't exactly where I needed it to be at this point. So I'm just emptying out the dead leaves that have fallen into the pot, and then really cleaning out the soil, and then getting ready to water it. Well, so much for my forearm. So after a little bit of cleaning up, this is what it looks like. If you notice at the beginning of the video, it was really at its most luscious state, and now it kind of looks pathetic. But the great thing about plants is no matter where you cut it, and I am hoping that as I cut it and there's still nodes on the stems, new leaves are going to grow. I'm actually hopeful that in about 2 or 3 months, or even 4, I will do another video. I'm updating you on my Ficus pumila, and you guys will be surprised at how much more lush it has become, even though it kind of like almost died. Oh, whatever. I know earlier I said that I was going to water it, but I really didn't. Now I'm going to water it. And all I'm doing is just making sure it's not really lukewarm, maybe cooler than lukewarm, and giving it a nice water and soaking it up, and hopefully the roots will take. Well, actually the roots have taken because I haven't like really repotted it or changed it. I just want this plant to grow. So I'd appreciate it if everyone just sent their healing, loving plant vibes to this plant. Thank you. After a bit more of prodding and priming and whatever you call it, cleaning and checking out the parts of the stems that I cut, I think I'm ready to just, let this plant or leave it alone and see how well it does. Okay, so I'm just going to set it down. And now where did that piece go? Oh yeah, here it is. So this is the plant where I'm going to propagate, and at this end, it looks healthy. I will plop it in water and hopefully I will have roots in a little while. So I managed to run to the bedroom at super fast speed, and I got this test tube glass where I'm currently propagating my one string of dolphins. So can you see all the tiny little baby dolphins? I think they're so cute. Oh my gosh, I just hope they don't dry up. Okay, let's not even say it. So this is where I am going to place this Ficus pumila one strand, and hopefully it will get along with my one string of dolphins and it'll start to root. So I set the test tube glass aside, and then here it is. So here's the Ficus pumila that I had actually pruned. Let's just call it a pruning. That's it. Let's call it a pruning. And I'm giving a close-up here to see how the stems look and the remaining leaves. And I kid you not, in about a month or two, or even maybe less, we'll start to see new leaf buds coming out of the nodes. I think you call them leaf buds. I don't know. And then let's just see. So I will update you on the progress. So here's how it looked when I found out that it was like dying and all dried. See, like really dried leaves, and there's still some of the leaves that's still clinging on. This is how it looked when it was healthy and lush. And hopefully in a few months you will see a whole new set of leaves, and it'll be even more healthier than it was in the beginning. Has this ever happened to any of you out there? I know it's really devastating when you are a new plant mom or plant dad, or even if you're not new, because you know what? I've been a plant mom for 3 years, and every time something like this happens to me, not that it happens all the time, it's totally devastating. If this has happened to you, I'd really love to know in the comments below, and let me know. Well, that's pretty much it. And if you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and do consider subscribing. I will update you on the progress of this Ficus pumila. In my next video, I will be repotting a few succulents. So if that's something that excites you, then do subscribe and get notified when I will upload that video, which, I'll tell you, it'll be next week on a Sunday. Well, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.